Live, I'm going to make sure everything is working. And then we can get started. Hold on, what is it doing? There we go. There we go. Okay, so with that, we can begin. The under hits, of course it does. You guys had faith in me, right? Well, if not, you lost. Congratulations. I won something meaningful for the first time in about 6 months. But how are we all doing? I'm a little scared. I'd probably be scared if I was you too, or any of these other teams. I wish I was scared, but I guess that's the one plus of getting eliminated in the wild card round. You got it over with. Whereas you guys have to still worry. And I get to sit back on the couch, relax, and enjoy. And we should enjoy because we've got 4 pretty good games today. We're going to get our first look at the number 1 seeds, the Cleveland Browns, with Lamar Jackson, who was disappointing in his last playoff game, facing off against Hector and the Huskies, coming off their upset in the wild card that we don't need to talk about. The Condoms and the Ravens, these two teams really impressed me. The Condoms offense was phenomenal. Joe Burrow was excellent. And the Ravens, who started down 10-0 against the defending champs, were great the final 3.5 quarters. And then the 4 division winners in the NFC. These have been the 4 best teams in the conference, really for both seasons now, the Niners and the Bears. The defending NFC champs facing off against the Bears team that really shouldn't have won, but with some plays down the stretch, they were able to get by Dallas. And then the Panthers and the Eagles, 2 steady forces in the NFC. Neither of them won playoff games last year, but they both do this year. And now one of them is going to the conference championship. My phone is going to die soon. Can we do my game first? I believe that can be arranged. I already promised Hector I'd do his last. So, yeah, let's start here. The Condoms and the Ravens. You could make the argument this is this might be the best game of the day. We're starting off hot. Number generator lands on 1. That would be Baltimore because they're 5. The Ravens have already won 1 playoff game on the road. Who's to say they can't do it again? Okay, controller number 2 is ready. I actually got a new controller the other day. I haven't been able to get it to work yet. But controllers costed $75. Since when were they so expensive? I was surprised to see how much it costed. Can my A game be next? Do you have a good reason? I let people go if they have a specific reason. I need to see HTE and Alpo when I have agendas to push. All purple. Which purple? Light or dark? And I guess that means the Ravens can't really wear purple. If we do light purple, we can have the Ravens wear all black. I like this. All white would... I feel like all white actually might look better. Hold on. Yes. I think this is... I'm nervous. Is that a good reason? I mean... Denmark wants his game after yours for the same reason, so we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But we've got to cross this bridge first in Albuquerque. Joe Burrow leads the Condoms. My first place MVP vote looks to send him back to the AFC Championship against the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams who did not make it this far a year ago. The Ravens made the playoffs, lost in the first round. The Condoms didn't make it at all. But now one of them can punch their ticket to the conference championship. Two very strong offenses who looked really good in their first playoff games on that side of the ball. If the Condoms have an Achilles heel, it certainly was their defense, especially their run defense. They will have Chris Jones back, so you had that going for you, Giddy. Baltimore had to overcome a slow start. They know they can't start slow again. Which team has the butt kicker? I was wondering the same thing. I don't remember. I know he was on Buffalo last year. How can I forget that? But I don't know who has him this year. I want to make fun of him. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but imagine Lamar plays the Niners in the OFL Bowl. Round 2 of Lamar in a playoff game versus that defense. But that would require Lamar to win 2 additional playoff games as ETN loses 2 to start from Vita Vea. We let Butker win 2. We really let... He made one of the game-winning field goals in the game against the Dreadnoughts, the first one. We let him have that moment as Micah Parsons gets the sack. I think he had 2.5 against the Dildos. I love how the Ravens are going from the Dildos to the Condoms. That's kind of funny. They've already beat one down their thing. Can they beat another? This might help. 2 hands for safety. Khalil Mack. The sack attack and the purple, white, and black. So the Condoms had 3 plays, and they went backwards on all 3 of them. Not a very good start for the Condoms offensive line, I must say. And they're going to get a flag for kicking out of bounds. Geez, the Condoms are not off to a flying start, are they? To be fair, the Ravens started off super poorly in their first game, and they still won. But you let the defense score within a minute, and the Ravens are going to start at the 50. Isaiah Likely will likely make the first catch of the game for Baltimore. Joe Burrow, try not to get sack challenge. Impossible. That's the Joe Burrow I know. Dallas Joe Burrow has returned. Good run by Derrick Henry. He played well in the last game. As did pretty much everybody on this offense. There's Amon-Ra St. Brown. What OFL Bowl do you want to see the most, and what would you... I don't think there's a matchup I would hate. I mean, I don't dislike any of the coaches left. I don't want the Ravens and SG to catch up to my ring total, but he's still got some work to do, and so does Bryce Young, because he just got picked off. Is that Lattimore? Yes, it is. Marshawn Lattimore to the 50. The Condoms needed something to go their way, and they do. Anyway, back to the question. I think the most entertaining game, like in terms of like the 2 teams in their respective conferences, that I think would be the most fun and interesting, for a pure football perspective, without like other storylines, I think I would probably say the Niners and the Condoms, because I feel like these 2 offenses would create a track meet. I think that'd be a really fun game. What coach would I want to see win a ring the most? I don't really know. None of them. That should be me up there, not anyone else. Damn it. But I guess it would be cool to see somebody win their first ring. I always like seeing that. Except for Todd, because then he's going to dunk on me. Hey, Ravens-Eagles. That's probably the one matchup where I can't win, since Hobie has 2, SG has 2, so somebody's going to get closer to me regardless. But that would be a good game, even though I hope it does not happen. Condoms and Niners. Battle of which coach can use the most devil luck. I need to see a Hector ring for the culture. I honestly would not hate that. That would be objective. A Hector Denmark OFL Bowl would be objectively hilarious. I think the one team I didn't even mention in all of this is Carolina. I'd like to see the Panthers make a run. That'd be fun. Speaking of fun, nice catch to the one by Tim Patrick. On paper, this is one of the worst receiving cores in the league, but in-game, they are really one of the best. Tim Patrick, Khalil Shakir, and Quentin Johnston are dynamic. SG and Hobie can't get to 3 rings. I need to get there first. How about nobody gets there? As the Condoms get the fullback dive to take the lead with Rico Dowdle. The Hitler ball, if you will. Respect playoff Tim Patrick. Fail Mary time. He was the one who made that play, yeah. And then Seattle met Jordan Davis. Was that the year that we made the OFL Bowl, or was that... No, that couldn't have been the year after, because neither team made it. So, yeah, that would have been the year that we made it. That was all the way back in Season 2. That Season 2 OFL Bowl was almost a year ago. I looked today. It was May 29th. We are almost a year removed from 28-0. The farther we get from that game, the better. It was the 28-0 year, so my math is correct. Who was the guy who IT had thrown the interception to in the last bowl? Probably Greg Newsome. I think it was Greg Newsome, because Greg Newsome was insane last year. Other than Trayvon Diggs, he was the best defensive player. I'm trying to see a Lamar ring. We've only had like 5 of those in OFL history. Let's get another one. I feel like Lamar is like the OFL GOAT. So I guess it would be kind of cool to see him add another to the tally. He might have more. He has at least 5, maybe more. Has he won one since the start of OFL 21? I'm not sure. He's been close. He was close with the Shamrocks, of course. He was semi-close with the Texans. Speaking of number 8 on the Ravens, I thought that was Lamar for a second. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown instead. The J.C. Jackson disrespect. J.C. Jackson was up there, but I don't think he was better than Greg Newsome. He was close. You can make the argument for 3rd or 4th. But Trayvon Diggs is number 1. I don't think anyone's going to argue against that. And then I feel like Greg Newsome's impact was number 2. Add on one of the most iconic plays of the cycle. I think that would give him the edge. Ooh, incomplete. Likely couldn't drag the feet in. The Season 5 Bowl was so weird. It was good, especially the 4th quarter, but not really. We had some really good OFL Bowls last year. We were spoiled. And then obviously the first one this year was one of the best. Nice play. Bryce Young on the run for DK Metcalf. Greg Newsome did not have one dominant playoff run. He was good the whole cycle. He was at his best at the end, but he was good pretty much the entire time. Did he have an interception in our game? Because Corral was picked off at least once, I think probably twice. Greg Newsome had 4 interceptions in 3 OFL Bowls, with 3 of them in the 4th. That sounds about right. This Season 1 Bowl is the worst. Well, that's easy for you to say. At least I can say my OFL Bowl loss was the worst last year, and that's objectively true. Even though everyone else is going to say no, but that's besides the point. He had 2. Okay. Jordan Davis is hurt. Speaking of the Cowboys. Going to the locker room. Uh-oh. His day is done. The Ravens lost one of their offensive line starters last week with Cam Jurgens. Now they lose a starter on the defensive line. There's Hawkinson to the 41. Things we adore to see. His flashbacks are returning. Tim Patrick versus Jordan Davis in a playoff game. Where have I seen this before? Because that'll wrap up the first 9-7. The safety by Khalil Mack has been the difference so far. If this game is like the Condoms and the Riverhogs, where both teams are just scoring every drive, that safety could be the reason why the Ravens win, not so much because of points, but more so because the Condoms wasted their first possession of the game. Baltimore starts with the ball in the second half. Can any of the OFL teams compete with the Cowboys and the Bills of last year? Well, so far I would say no. There are some really good teams this cycle. but so far not yet. To be fair, I don't think the Bills won a playoff game until year 3. And the Cowboys didn't even make the playoffs until the second year, so it took time for either of those teams to get together. Oh, he was open. Good play, though, by Jalen. Yeah, that is Jalen Petrie. That looks like him. Bengal legend. Hooday. With Joe Burrow making CTE plays. This really is the Cowboys and Seahawks again. 3rd and 7. Burrow's under pressure. Gets by the defender. It's hard to outrun Micah Parsons, but he did. Micah Parsons shouldn't have dove. Had he just stood up, he would have caught him. Yeah, that feels unnecessary. But it works for the condoms. Known running quarterback, Joe Burrow. Season 2, they went 16-1 that year. That's right. I forgot they were that good. But yeah, they did not win a playoff game until Season 3, because they were 1-done the first year. They lost to the New England Patriots, and then they lost to the Texans that year in the second round. That's the reason why the Bengals made the OFL Bowl, because we didn't have to run into Buffalo. The first OFL Bowl was the only one to not feature Buffalo or Dallas. That wasn't the only one to not just feature those teams, but that was the only one that wasn't won by one of those teams. Shout out Dan Dutton. Dan the man. Texans were 3rd, or no, that's like 3rd like all time. I mean, biasly, I think it's us. But us, Seattle, the Dreads, and the Texans are all right up there as the teams that were like good, but not good enough. What do I think of the Panthers? I think the Panthers are pretty good. Going to be a tough game against the Eagles. The Eagles have looked good and watched. Alpo Pull is legit. But I think either team can win that game as Travis Etienne scores and the condoms are back ahead. Dan did what Octi, Todd, Hovey, C-Mill couldn't. Win a championship. That would be correct. Remember when Josh Allen hurdled the one defender on the Commanders? That was funny. Was it a hurdle or was it a truck? I don't remember, but that was wild. I know this is so off topic and we shouldn't judge women this way. Okay, Harrison Butker. But is it crazy to say that Kay Adams is 5 times hotter than Kelsey Plum? The Kelsey Plum dialogue over the last month has been hilarious. She went from the weird woman eating popcorn to now thirst trapped. Like, what happened other than a divorce? Shout out Darren Waller. She looks like Luka Garza. I saw the same tweet today. Respect Luka Garza, though. Piston legend. Derrick Henry's averaging 12 a pop. Damn, no wonder he's in the zone. Kelsey got a divorce. What am I doing? Apparently the rumors that Darren Waller cheated. That's what I saw. I don't know how true it is. Don't shoot the messenger. I did what you couldn't do this year, Nick. Make the playoffs. Nick has not lost a playoff game yet this cycle. Good for him. It took him until Season 3 to lose a playoff game last year, and it probably will again, assuming they even make it next year. We would have if our 90 overall rated defense didn't fall apart against Justin Herbert. Well, that makes 2 of us, buddy. We still have not had a punt today. I think the condoms are like allergic to punts either way. Which is weird because their defense is quite good. Now from the 26, Bryce Young is sacked. That's a big play. Sam Williams might have knocked him out of field goal range. That's the one question I have with Bryce Young. His ability to escape from pressure. Because it doesn't really seem like he knows how to do it. What is good, Jax? Welcome on in, my guy. I think the Niners versus the Bears is the best rivalry this cycle. Have they even played each other, though? Is it really a rivalry if they haven't played each other yet? I feel like we don't have like a great rivalry yet, which is fine. We're only 2 years in. I feel like it could have been the Rams and the Niners, but, you know, Frank traded away Lamar Jackson. Can't win them all. Regular season. Okay, so, but have we watched them play each other yet? I don't think so. I feel like we need like a crazy watch game or something, which maybe we'll get that today. Herbert went from throwing 5 picks against Todd to making our secondary look like the 2023 Lions. Wow. Why do we have to take a stray? Respect Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and Ifeatu Melifonwu, and not everybody else because they're gone for a reason. Although respect Tracy Walker too. I still love Tracy. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Burrow's lucky he didn't get sacked. You would Kendall Vildor starting at corner. Well, there's a reason why I didn't just say his name, even though I think he is back on the roster. There's a reason why I left him out. Third down, nice throw up the middle. Tim Patrick is hurt. No! We're not going to get a Hail Mary today. And we're also not going to get the Jordan Davis play because they're both hurt. I think that play right there is the big difference between Joe Burrow and Bryce Young. They're not that far apart otherwise, but Bryce Young would have gotten sacked there. The best rivalry in the NFL is Dan Campbell versus kicking the field goal. And I'm afraid Dan Campbell is winning the rivalry. Dan Campbell had the highest coaching WAR last year, by the way. Just saying. Watch out, Joey. You're next. Is there anybody else in this game who would have played on one of those teams? Boink. Did you see the EA college football trailer today? I did. I'm impressed. I mean, they didn't really give us much information other than that Team Builder's back, which is a huge win. Uh-oh, fumble! And the Condoms scoop it up. Khalil Mack again. But yes, I will be pre-ordering soon. EA, you can take my money. Is this the first game of the stream? No, this is the second one. The Browns lost the first one 49-0. I hate to break it to you. I'm kidding. This is the first game. Don't worry. And we're going to get a punt? I don't believe it. And we almost got a water punt, too. With 7 seconds, I imagine they're just going to kneel or run out the clock. I guess giving it to Derrick Henry in the zone can't hurt, unless he gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Then they'll feel really stupid. Oh, they're going to run another play. Bryce Young's going to heave it up, and it's incomplete. They actually almost made that work. The $150 bundle is actually a really good deal. The more I think about it, instead of spending like $100 for each game in the deluxe, you only have to spend $75. So that really is a win. For someone like me who would have bought both games, it saves me probably like $25 or $30 at least. So, thanks, EA. I think it was because I was drunk, but the Lions losing to Dan's nutsack was crazy. I think in a vacuum, most of the fourth down calls from that game were not that bad. If Josh Reynolds had caught the one, we would have won the game. Or if Josh Reynolds would have caught the other bad drop he had. But I would rather not relive that. The trailer, Donovan Edwards, stiff-arming Lathan Ransom. Well, yeah, they wanted to make it a little realistic. NCAA 13 is better than 14. I don't think I played enough 13. I know I have it somewhere. Maybe it is better, but I don't know the game well enough, and it's just that I'm like so comfortable with 14, and I know the game super well to where it's hard for me to pick anything other than that. But again, I haven't played enough of 13 to recognize. I think I got 13 after I got 14, which is weird, but the run game has gone away. Derrick Henry's gone backwards twice. And Jedrick Wills is hurt. Not a good start here in the second half for Baltimore. A little realistic. My brother in Christ had Illinois winning the Eli Buck. I hope I said that right. I meant the Donovan Edwards stiff-arming Ohio State part. Not that. Illinois Dynasty reboot coming soon. Incomplete. Condoms with the stop. Ravens will punt for the first time. Now both defenses appear to be awake. It took them pretty much 2 quarters, but we're here. 14-12 as you think. I mean, it's for one half, that's pretty average scoring. You're even above average. How many points does the average NFL team score in a game? Probably between, I don't know, 19 and 24, I would guess. I could be wrong. That's just an estimate. So I would say this has been like slightly above average in terms of scoring so far. But maybe slightly below expectation for what we were expecting. I like the recruiting in 13, 14. 14 is definitely too easy. That might be part of the reason why I like the game, because I was able to master it. But I would rather have a challenge and know it pretty well than it be super easy and I know it like super well. And I know all the glitches and stuff. What is going on, Nickinator? How are we doing? I just realized Travis Hunter might be broken at corner or receiver. He's going to be broken wherever. I wonder if there's going to be like generated two-way players, and I wonder how they're going to handle him. Because you got to have him be able to play receiver, right? I mean, you put him on the cover. You got to be able to let him have his full capabilities. Is Trayvon Diggs on crack? When is he not on crack is the better question. Ben Morrison Betta. Will Johnson is better than both, and Jabbar Muhammad clears all. I can't wait to see Shador overall. It's going to be like probably low 90s. Should it be? I don't think so. Should probably be a little lower than that. Good tackle by Micah on third down, too. They might have to punt it. I'm better now that my laptop isn't jacked. That's supposed to be my job to say I'm unavailable and move the recording back, not you. What a punt down at the 5. I don't know who their punter is, but good punt. Who's the highest overall going to be? That's a good question. I could see it being Travis Hunter. He's on the cover, and he's, like, by far the best of the 3. I don't mind the choices for the cover because it gets an SEC guy, it gets a Big Ten guy, it gets a national champion. Oh, safety. Both teams have a safety today. Montez Sweat. But anyway, in terms of talent, Travis Hunter is obviously the best player of the group, by far. So it could be him. I could see it being any of those big linemen. Will Campbell from LSU, James Pierce, Mykel Williams. Better be Travis or Ollie. Ollie Gordon could make sense as well. There's another one. Tez Johnson. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, Tez is going to be pretty high, but I would guess nobody's going to get a 99, though. I don't know if there's anybody who like fully deserves to be at the top. Will Johnson's another one. Luther Burden, the receiver from Missouri, is probably right up there with that group. McMillan from Arizona, he's a dog. Well, technically he's a cat because he's a wild cat. But he's also a dog. Maybe even Caleb Downs, even though he's only a sophomore, he's of that level. And I feel like they have to include a quarterback, like, at least have one, like, 97 QB. Even though there probably shouldn't be any. I feel like they're going to be pressured to have one. It better not be Quinn Ewers. Please, God. If I had to pick 300, I don't think Jalen... I like Jalen Milroe a lot. Let me just say that. I think Jalen Milroe has a chance to be quite good. But I don't think he's quite there yet. If it's going to be one of the quarterbacks, if they have to pick one to be with the top group, it should be Carson Beck. But Hunter and Downs both would belong in the 97-98 club, or right up there. Feel like Milrose... That feels a little high. Again, I like Jalen Milroe. But... I don't know about 93. I'm not ready to get there yet. Oh, players to be on the cover. Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Then, in that case, yes, those feel like good picks. I can't argue with any of them. Kick is good. With all the weird scoring today, the deficit is at a clean 7 points, which is kind of odd. I mean, to be fair, if you take out the safeties, it would be 17-10, which feels a lot more normal. 96 speed Milrose could be so much fun. Is he that fast? I know he's built. I wonder what DJ Uiagalelei is going to be. I have some nasty agendas to push. Florida State Dynasty coming soon? Hear me out? That would be kind of a fun storyline. If I were to pick a power team, I'm just saying. A year with DJ, I think that would be fun. Can't wait for Illinois to hold up the Illinois Buck every year. Because nothing in the trailer was a lie. They had Oregon in the trailer for like a tenth of a second more than Washington, so because of that, I am pushing agendas. They had Wyoming third out of like every school, but that's not the point. For the first game, sort of wish they had like 30 covers for most of the big schools. If they had a bunch of covers, it would have been cool to see like all the great players of the last decade who couldn't be on the cover. We didn't get a Johnny Manziel cover. We didn't get a Lamar Jackson cover. We didn't get a Joe Burrow cover. We didn't get a Tyler Van Dyke cover. You should be able to order your own cover. That would have been fire. Especially for the people who still get like the disc version. I don't get the discs anymore because I just think it makes more sense to get the digital. But that'd be fire if you were able to get your own cover. That would maybe make me want to order the actual disc version. As Bryce Young is sacked. What happened to the Ravens offense? They were playing so well. And they've like fallen off the face of the earth. Give me an Oklahoma State cover. I would buy the disc for it. That would be worth it to have an Oregon disc cover. That would be like seriously like a cool decoration, if nothing else. Like I don't even need to keep the disc in the disc holder. Just hang up the disc holder on the wall and keep the disc. Have I heard of BDGE? I have, yes. They have good trivia ideas. Which, now that I say that, we should probably take some notes. I'm just realizing, I forgot that Joe Burrow is not an X Factor. In the roster that we used, he was only a superstar. That's so weird. That's so random. Like, he wasn't that bad before he got hurt. Who caught 2 touchdowns from blank? Like, exactly 2? Or at least 2? Exactly 2 feels like it'd be pretty hard. Like, if you order the game and get the Ohio State cover, show players like all the big ones, and then in the middle, the former guys. That would be cool. Like I can get my current Oregon Ducks, and then elsewhere on the cover, I can get my Marcus Mariotas, and my Justin Herberts, and my Kayvon Thibodeaux, and my Lord and Savior, my Pookie Bear, Bo Nix. Who are my top 5 coaches of all time? In order. In order, wow. Okay. Well, I feel like I have to put myself at the top. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of speaks for itself. After that is tougher. I feel like in some order, it's hard to pick against the two ring coaches other than Naruto. Most of you weren't here for Roberto, but he was obviously very good. And then SG, Nick, and Hobie. It's probably those guys in the top 5. I don't know how I'd be able to order them. Do you reward someone like Nick, who's been here the whole time, or do you penalize him because he's had more chances to win? But he's also built consistent teams that are good since, like, the start. Minus the first year, where he always went 7-9. That was funny. You should bring back Westlake in the new game. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. I feel like I have to start thinking of what I want to do soon because there's so many different things I could do. Whether it's team builder, with a fake school or a real school, or a good group of 6 school, or a power school, or just do next up. Like, there's so many different choices. Like, I don't just have to think of the team. I have to think of what type of series I want. It adds to the complexion. Ironically, in an Oregon edition, Bo Nix might be the choice, considering he's the one that just graduated. I feel like Bo Nix probably graduated, like, before, though, because he's been at school for 5 years. Fake school's going to hit later in the cycle. Well, who's to say that I don't switch up what we're doing halfway through the year? That could work. I had not thought that far ahead. I've barely thought into what, like, I'm going to do to start the cycle. But there's a reason why the original Westlake series lasted 3 years. It was because having my own school was quite fun. And nearly, what, like 300 episodes? I think a little bit less than. Ooh, fumble! And the condoms pick it up in the red zone. Montez Sweat has had himself a day. Who's the Lions' backup? The man, the myth, the legend, Hendon Hooker. Of course. I assume that's who would be listed as the second string. Otherwise, it would be Nate Sudfeld. Sud the Stud. Coaching carousel. I guess that's another series option. Hopping back and forth between teams. Do I get to bring a lot of my recruits with me? Like, real life? Did they say if the game is going to be a yearly release? I don't think they've said it specifically, but let's be real. This is EA Sports. They want as much money as they can get. So I would think so. My question is, like, since this game has obviously gotten so much hype and so much attention put into it, what are they going to be able to add for the future? If they, like, put so much into this game and make it perfect, which sounds good to me. I hope they do. Nice touchdown by Khalil Shakir. If they make this game perfect, then what are they going to be able to add to it? So I feel like they can't make it perfect intentionally. I feel like they still obviously want to make it good, but they've also got to leave room to get better, to make sure people still buy the next one. It is Hooker. That makes sense. Our second leading passer, though, is probably Jack Fox. I don't think the random person will be able to guess that. Shout out King Jack. The Ravens have it back, down by 14. They're in a little trouble. The offense has gone silent in the second half. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Giddy's ever made it to the conference championship, so this would be a first. I know at least one of those Pioneer teams would have made it to the divisional round, considering they were the 1 seed at least once in OFL 22. They should let us play a demo. I mean, considering they have a Madden demo, I wouldn't be surprised. It's also the same, it's probably similar gameplay, though. So would they really need a demo for both on the flip side? Ooh, Isaiah Likely's hurt. Off the top of my mind, Bama, Devontae Smith, Marvin, Jalen. For the Jalen Carter Georgia version, can I have, like, race cars in the background? I hope in Road to Glory you can, like, commit crimes. Because they said you have to, like, keep up your GPA and keep up your image in, like, the campus notes or whatever it's called. I hope you can commit crimes. And impregnate women. Well, the Ravens have to impregnate this first down if they want to keep the game going. Bryce Young's under pressure, and he is sacked again. Furious George. George Karlaftis with possibly the clincher. As a Bama fan, I say Tua. I mean, Alabama, you can name like 50 choices. This is a simcast now, as Quentin Johnston makes it a 3-score game. I'm old enough to remember when the... Oh, do I have to stay on the screen for 30 seconds? Huh. Okay, whatever. Well, I guess we get to look at Isaiah Likely for 30 seconds. Snow Bunnies in Road to Glory. Make it happen. I need my black running back who's going to a school in the South, who's going to LSU, to be able to get all the Snow Bunnies he wants. Smith to a... What about Jake Coker? Remember him? Can I have Jake Coker on my Alabama cover? And all the failed quarterbacks before the good ones they got for like 5 years? Ravens score a touchdown. Chris Paul hits a huge 3 to cut the lead to 42. Wow, the Ravens are actually making this close. It's not going to matter, though. They're going to lose by, what, 14? The Condoms might have scored again, actually. They might have added a field goal. Yeah, 36-19. So it's a 17-point deficit. This was a really close game in the first half, and then the Condoms just stormed out the gates in the second half. Defensively, they really figured it out. It was the pass rush. As I mentioned in the first Ravens playoff game and now this one, my concern with Bryce Young is his ability to evade pressure. And that was the reason why the Ravens' offense was unsuccessful down the stretch. Bryce Young as a passer wasn't that bad. He was pretty average, but it was the sacks. Joe Burrow was not as good as he was last week, but he was still very good. Derrick Henry had a good game. He was better than ETN. DK scores twice. Yeah, but a lot of sacks from both sides. Sweated 2. How did he only have 3 tackles? It feels like he had about 8. I feel like there's way more sacks than this. When a Snow Bunny makes a false accusation on my 5-star receiver, we can get mad at teams keeping criminals, but when we do it on College Football 25, we can't get mad at those teams anymore. We can't get mad at the Chiefs for keeping Rashee Rice after our number 1 recruit at quarterback has a drug charge against him and was arrested for a DUI. I wish Jerry Jeudy was good. Speaking of Jerry Jeudy, in Road to Glory, are we allowed to have like social media so we can tweet weird things like Big Bird? We need to be able to pull a Jerry Jeudy and tweet about Big Bird. All right, I promise Hector's game will be last, so it's going to be one of the NFC games now. Lands on 2. Panthers, Eagles. Ooh. I guess this is what they both wanted anyway, so it works out. And then it lands on 1. So that's the Eagles. I'm going to keep my wide receiver even if he does the Aaron Hernandez. Well, in that case, we can't get mad at real teams, guys, for employing bad people. All right, jerseys. I need to rizz up Livy. Okay, Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens threw 6 no-hit innings. Your player's going to have to be able to do something really cool to beat Paul Skeens. Even if you play on rookie difficulty, I don't know if you're getting by Paul, buddy. Got done with my cut just in time. Perfect timing indeed. About to turn such a blind eye when my star defensive lineman gets caught with illegal possession of a firearm. Sexual assault? No problem. Here's $2 million in NIL money. I was outraged at the Browns for signing Deshaun Watson to a big contract, and now I'm doing the exact same thing in a video game. Would that make me a horrible person? What happened to John Hugh Lee? My glorious king. I assume this is the one you want. And then Hobie wants the blacks. This is honestly a clean jersey matchup. Teal versus black. I'm about it. I hope my 5-star doesn't pull a Rashawn Jones on a teammate. Jeez. That's the type of storyline we need. But it only has to be for schools like Miami. Like, it can't be some, like, nice Midwestern farm school. Like, we can't have that at Northwestern. It has to be at, like, the Miamis of the world. Out for the season. No, not Jung-Hoo Lee. That's unfortunate. What's also unfortunate is that one of these two teams' seasons are going to come to an end. The Eagles and the Panthers, both of whom were favorites last year in the playoffs. They got first rounded, but they were able to win a game this year, and now they're looking to win another one and advance to the NFC Championship. The veteran Hobie, who's been here before, he's won 2 rings, nearly won another one last year against MMGK, who's never made it this far. The old guard versus the new guard. We've got the Ohio State quarterback versus the Wyoming quarterback. Ironic, because the NCAA trailer preferred one of these schools to the other, and it wasn't Alpo's school. But Alpo was quite good this year. 4,700 yards, 36 touchdowns, and just 5 picks. Both quarterbacks, of course, in the MVP ballot as well. When my 99 overall kicker can bomb 65-yarders but makes homophobic comments on Twitter. The college football version of Harrison Butker. Did my kicker just make a game-winning kick to win the national championship? Yes. Is my kicker super racist and probably in the Klan? Also yes. Roll Tide! New York recruit's father arrested in ties with 9/11. Jesus Christ. What did Harrison say? I haven't... Oh, boy. Have you been, I mean this in the nicest way possible, but... Have you lived under a rock in the last week? I think I've seen Harrison Butker's name like 1,000 times over the last 5 days. And that cannot be exaggeration. As Alpo is sacked by Aaron Donald, that'll end the drive. I remember when we watched the Panthers, I think last year, and I said I have no clue how Aaron Donald fell to the 3rd round of the fantasy draft, and people called me crazy. Like, I get he's older, but he doesn't usually retire that early in this game. In the Dragons franchise, it's season 6 and he's still good. That's a whole OFL cycle and then some. About to become Sean McDermott. Oh, boy. Say what he said like you mean it. Absolutely not. No. I am not going to yell women belong in the kitchen. I know that's not like exactly what he said, but same thing. Cole Beasley said he stood with Harrison. That might be the least surprising thing I've seen all day. That is like exactly up Cole Beasley's alley. Josh Allen's 0 for 2 so far. It's like that time when Josh Allen went like 2 for 16 in a playoff game in OFL 20. Real ones remember. And not like the time in OFL 22 where he went perfect in a playoff game with Pokemon's team, as Jonathan Grenard is there with the sack. If my Road to Glory player pulls like a Terrence Shannon, is the opposing like student section gonna like yell mean chants? Because if that's the case, That would be an interesting Road to Glory storyline. I'm just saying. Eagles going short so far. But because of the good field position, they're damn near in field goal range already. Here's Monty. He does not get it. He loses a yard. What are you doing? 4th and 4 to 44. It's too deep, I think, to kick. You either got to go or punt. Since it's early in the game, I think I would punt and try to win the field position battle for a little bit until I can possibly score. Oh, they're going to go for it. Okay. This isn't a bad call. This is a lot better than kicking a field goal. I would have punted it, but I don't mind this. They're going to pass it. 80 was open at first. Okay, that works too. I assume that's Garrett Wilson. No, it's... Oh, yeah, that's right. Monty's 5 here. I'm slow. Monty's 5 here because he's 5 in real life. If you're black against a Southern team and other fans say bad things... What's like the whitest Southern college football? Oh, Clemson. That's an easy question. Can the Clemson fans say like racist things? Can Dabo insinuate them to say racist things? Because in that case, send me to Clemson's rival. My Road to Glory player needs to experience some real racism. Oklahoma. There we go. That works too. I don't want, like, northern racism. I want full-blown southern racism. The real answer is Ole Miss. Respect my king, Lane Kiffin. I get it's more of a fan-based thing rather than a coach thing. Do I know the short about coaches when their star players are failing in the classroom? I don't know what you're talking about off the top of my head, but if I saw it, I probably would know what you're referring to. .5 GPA? Doesn't matter. You're my leading receiver. You're an athlete-student, not a student-athlete. The more northern you go in Florida, the more southern you get. Go Noles! It's picked off. This one might come back, though. If not, the Eagles are going to start inside the 15. I won't be surprised if it doesn't come back. It might be a holding on the offense. Ooh, nope, pass interference. So much for that. Deontay Banks, who I think had 2 picks against Dallas earlier this year. 3 white students sued today because they missed it on scholarships due to being white. I'm now just remembering why Nick said Ole Miss. It should not have taken me 3 minutes to get why he picked them, but yeah, no, now I get it. Cardell Jones moment. We need somebody to recreate the Cardell Jones thing where he's beating the kid in the hospital by like 60 points. He's beating him 91-35, and Cardell Jones says, hey, that's a lie. That's not true. It was 91-35 with a minute and a half left. I scored another touchdown. I won 98-35, damn it. If you're the 49ers, who would you want to win? That's a good question. I feel like these teams are really even. You're going to be home regardless if you win. And I don't think these teams are, like, far apart at all. I also don't think either of them give you, like, a much better or worse matchup. If I absolutely had to pick, I think the Eagles are a little bit more consistent, but I think the Panthers have, like, a higher variance, or like their best moments are really good, but their lesser moments are worse than that of the Eagles, if that makes sense. My wide receiver runs a 4.24 and his hands like glue. He ain't care about no damn class. Can all of my players pull a Ben Simmons and just stop showing up halfway through the first semester? What if you run the AFL? Since the owner is not there. Well, if I run the AFL, then I'm probably losing money fast, so I would be depressed. I just got on the show, beginning of the year. I bought 200 Mason Millers. Well, it appears you won. Congratulations. Third and 4. Look at Dallin. He gets the first of the 4. He's now an 85. Good for him. From a silver to a diamond in a month and a half. If only poor guy wasn't on the A's. Send him to a real team like the White Sox. That'll help him. 1 hour in the weight room is more than a lifetime in the classroom. Cook! We ain't come here to play school. Shout out Cardell Jones again. As Breece Hall ties it up. I hear they're open to offers. Of course they are. What is the biggest OFL regular season blowout ever? Probably one of the games last year with the Seahawks or the Raiders. Future Guardian Mason Miller, trading all that for a relief pitcher. That's crazy. He returned the Eagles. Mason Miller and Emmanuel Clase. All that for 86 wins, a 6 seed, and a loss in the wild card round. What team is funny again? Funny is Dallas, who almost was here, but then they blew it. Now I got to beat the Bears 70-0. Imagine if we had a 70-point playoff game. The losing coach would probably never hear the end of it. Honestly, I kind of hope that happens at some point, because then 28-0 will be forgotten about. That'll look like an afterthought. Alpo throws it away. Panthers with the stop. He's the Cowboys coach and a Celtics fan in real life. That sounds like a great duo. What was Funny doing on January 6th? Does he cheer for the Dodgers like Little John baseball? I don't know what college sports day was more depressing for him. The day that Nick Saban retired, or when Jack Golke dropped 30. Alpo is overrated. Alpo hasn't even been bad. Alpo's been fine in this game. What? Are we watching the same game? Where was Octi January 6th? Hey! What did I do? Josh Allen is sacked. Jonathan Grenard with his second. Coach K and Coach Saban retired like 2 years apart. Pray for Funny. Poor guy. Where is Harrison Butker on January 6th? Definitely in Washington, D.C. Of course. Panthers are going to have to punt. What happened to the offense from the wild card round? The only sliders I touched was that I moved the interceptions down and the ball security up. That should mean more offense. Wow, that was a close one. The Eagles just dodged a bullet. That ball was so close to getting out at the 1. I was so heartbroken when Coach Saban retired. I almost shed a tear. I was equally heartbroken because I thought we were going to lose our coach. But it worked out for everyone. Alpo is sacked. Daniil Hunter, the $200-something million man. Can any quarterback here rival Dan? Well, we're only 2 years in, so obviously it's too early to say. Somebody like Warren Flowers or even Alpo might have the upside to do it. So it's possible. It's going to be hard. But there's a world where it happens, I guess. 69 yards. Nice. Not Washington. Well, they can suck it. I don't care about their feelings. So now the Panthers are going to get it back. Again with good field position. What Dan has on them is that he only played 3 seasons and did so much. Well, that probably gives these guys an advantage. They get more time. Did we do a sim year before 21? I feel like we did, because in that case, Smirnov would have been here for 5. Because he was the first draft. I think that was the first season I did a sim year. Second and 8, up the middle. Isaiah Thomas. The butterfly effect of Saban retiring is hilarious. That's the fun part about one I almost said one small college coach move, but that's not exactly small. But one college coach move can really change everything. Andy Einfeld going from USC to South Carolina led to a wild college basketball domino effect. It means Musk gets USC, John Calipari gets Arkansas, Mark Pope gets Kentucky, etc., etc. Imagine if there was like a hierarchy of jobs in like professional sports. Like imagine like a bad team like the Lions who are like they have Dan Campbell finally turn them around. And now Dan Campbell goes to one of the big markets. Imagine that. Riley Painter was supposed to be the man. He was supposed to be number 1 all time. But he was so mid on the Dolphins, and after they traded him, he was kind of good. Coach DeBoer has a chance to have a good season. Well, he has to learn how to recruit. He couldn't do that at Washington. Josh Allen up the middle, dives for a score. What if an NFL team is relegated to college? Then pray for the college kids. They might lose by 100. Hold on. I have more important things, such as OFL, to worry about. You can wait, telephone. Give us a PhD level analysis on the Drake and Kendrick beef. Okay. My all-star analysis, because I know everything on this topic, is that Drake is a pedophile. He's hanging out with his friends P. Giddy and Josh Diddy. He's doing good recruiting here. Well, I would hope he's doing better in Tuscaloosa, Alabama than he is at Washington. Mike Breen voice. Bang! Bang! Has a timeout, decides not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Ray Allen 3 against the Spurs or Dame 3 against the Thunder? Well, obviously the Ray Allen three was more significant. If he doesn't make that shot, the Spurs win the championship. LeBron has one less ring. His legacy looks quite a bit different. But Dame is probably my second all-time favorite player. The problem is Paul George is probably the one guy ahead of him. So the Dame shot against the Thunder has always been a conflicting one for me. Because I love Dame. I always have. But the one guy who I might be a bigger fan of than Damian Lillard is Paul George. So I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Dame gave us Shea. That shot really did work out for the Thunder in hindsight. If they well, I think that series was 3-1 anyway, but say they do win it, they make it to the second round, maybe they don't blow it up. The Shea trade and Paul George trade never happens. They don't get all those picks. Kawhi probably stays in Toronto unless he's able to get somebody else to join him on the Lakers. Or not the Lakers, the Clippers. I'm stupid. As the Panthers are up by 10. Some person compared their team's opponents to big hit songs, and the song they picked for the Browns was Not Like Us. They should have picked, I didn't realize that that's what the song was called. Okay, then yes, that's a good choice. How old is Shea? I don't know how old Shea is, but Shea is like what? If he was drafted in 2018, he was probably born in 98 or 99. So he's probably 25. We get the ball at half, don't we? I think you do, yeah. Because the Eagles started with it. You're right. So the Panthers are in a good spot. They're up by 10, and they start with the ball. 25. Bang! So he's legal. Yeah, he's been in the league for like 6 years. I would hope he's legal. Now, is Josh Giddey legal? Now, that's a different question. He kind of looks like he's about 15 years old. So, who knows if he's actually 21. If you were me, who would you want to play in the next round if we make it? If I was you, I would have a little bit more confidence in beating the Bears. I think the Niners have a higher overall ceiling, and I just don't trust the Bears and watched. Victor and Chet against Miami Shaq. Well, that's a 2-on-1. I'm going to pick the 2. If Victor and Chet are able to space themselves out, then how is Shaq going to guard both of them? Both Victor and Chet can shoot. So you have one on one side of the floor, the other on the other side. Whoever has the ball, pass it out. That guy's open for 3. Shaq tries to catch up and contest the shot. So even if it doesn't go in, the other player is going to be under the basket and can get the rebound. And get the putback. See? Big brain. Great, now the Bears will score 40. I've been known to jinx things before, so my apologies in advance. Kyrie gave the Cavs their biggest shot ever, but also left the team in bad terms, and has been an off-court distraction until getting to Dallas. What are we supposed to think about Kyrie? I will say he has done a good job of staying out of the news in the last year since the trade. But he also did deliver you a championship. Legends remember Chet's 7 block performance against me 2 nights ago. How about we be quiet and don't talk about that? I would have the same thing with you on Victor if he had dropped 100 if those Wizards games didn't quit out. If the servers had worked, I would have dropped 100 with him. Chargers versus the 7th seed is a lobster. To be fair, the Broncos were a 6 seed last year, not a 7. Get it right. Josh is starting to cook. Kind of like the first game. This game started off close, and then the Panthers just ran away with it. The difference is they've run away with it quicker and earlier than the Condoms did. Wizards versus Spurs is nasty work. Oh, we did that. Did we do that on purpose? I don't know why Nick let us do that, considering I was the Spurs. But yet he gets a real team like the Pistons, and, well, I don't have as much luck. Kyrie left the team on such bad terms. His number was worn by Ty Jerome. Respect 2019 national champion, Ty Jerome. Dare I say it's my year? I mean, you got to win this game first, but you're in a good spot. The fifth pick Pistons. Yes, the fifth pick Pistons. Thank you for the reminder. My team is cursed. I totally forgot. We lost 68 games for Dalton Connect. Woohoo. He hit the biggest shot in team history, and Ty Jerome wears his number. Doesn't Ty Jerome have more overall championships than Kyrie? Because Ty Jerome won the national championship with Virginia. Wasn't he on the Warriors in 2022? I could be completely wrong about that. But wasn't he on the Golden State team who won the championship? 2 rings is greater than 1, bucko. Third and goal from the 2. They've got 2 chances to punch it in. Okay, maybe not. I imagine now that they're at the 4, they're just going to kick. And the door is open for a little while longer for the Eagles. That was a long drive, though, over like 6 minutes. Ty Jerome can shoot better than Dame. I bet. Am I on an island thinking that Damian Lillard is, at minimum, the 3rd, maybe the 2nd best shooter ever? I can't be the only one who thinks that. Even if his three-point efficiency is lower than other guys who you would argue, like the Ray Allens and the Reggie Millers of the world, his range and his shot creation ability puts him ahead of everybody other than Curry and probably no one else. I can't be the only one who thinks that, right? Maybe I'm biased, but Ray Allen and Reggie Miller are not doing the stuff that he does. Good run by Monty. Shaq. Yes, Shaq is the answer. SGA against Octi is a top 1 shooter. And Nick here is a top 1 glazer and yapper. I think Shea shot below the team average from 3 in that game, right? I could be wrong. But I think he only shot like 63% from 3. Only. There's Garrett Wilson could play. If the Eagles can score a touchdown here, I'm just saying, they can leave the door open. Let SGA drop 34 with no 3 throws. Ethical hoops. Only. To be fair, actually, no. I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I was going to say I tried, but that would actually make it look worse. So I'm not going to say that. Alpo is sacked by Shai Tuttle. That'll wrap up the 3rd. Carolina has the edge. Why did I think it was the 4th? Oh, you've got to wait a little bit longer until your game starts, buddy. Can the Panthers finish him off? The Eagles would be crazy to kick here, unless it's 4th and 40. Which at that point, they're not even field goal range, so it wouldn't even work. Why are they running screens? I get the idea of wanting to get closer, but you didn't exactly get closer. It's not a very manageable 4th down. I feel like they're going to kick. Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like in a 4th quarter where you're down by 13, your offense hasn't had many good drives. I don't know. I get that it feels early. Imagine shooting like 60% from 3 on 13 attempts, and it's worse than the rest of the team shoots. How about we be quiet? Here returns the Panthers, back up by 10, looking to put the game away. Georgia versus Cumberland Technology University is going to go wild. Wasn't Georgia Tech? Regardless. I can't wait to win my first game 215-0 on rookie difficulty with the slider set at 100 and the CPU slider set at 0. I wonder how many points it's physically possible to score in a 15-minute quarter. Or a 15-minute quarter game. Like, is it physically possible to score like 1,000 points? On the easiest sliders possible. Ooh, big play down the field by Devontae Adams. SGA shot 8 for 12, and the whole team shot 66%. Ha ha ha. I was referring to the game. In real life, I don't know if that's possible. The other team's going to at least try. Worry not, because I am here. Man, I've been worried for the last hour that we wouldn't see you. As Carolina gets into the 6th, looking to make it a 3-score game and close it out for good. We still haven't done us, right? No, we already did. I have bad news. You guys lost by 30. So, yeah, season's over. The good news is, your defense only allowed 15 points, but your offense scored negative 15. So, yeah. Sucks to suck, I guess. Why did Josh Allen go for the truck? Did he not see the wide open space on the right side of that defender? He just wanted to deck a dude, which I can't really blame him. Trucking defenders is fun. Doesn't matter. They score anyway on 3rd and goal. Isaiah Thomas with the clincher. It's a 3-score game with 6 minutes to go, and that should just about do it. The Eagles score a touchdown. Wow, 2 quick passes from Carolina. Oh my, the Eagles are actually doing some damage. Hold on. Okay. Henry Hobart's onside kick is unsuccessful. And the Carolina Panthers are moving on to the NFC Championship as they defeat the Eagles 30-24. With Chicago or San Francisco awaiting. FGFL's gameplay mod. I would do bad things to get those mods on console. I know it's probably not physically possible, but to get those uniforms and get those scoreboards, man, I would pay an obscene amount of money to make that work. Both QBs statistically were pretty good. I imagine Alpo kind of padded his stats towards the end with those 2 drives where they scored in the sim. Neither team ran the ball very well. Isaiah Thomas, whoa! Since when did he have 8 catches for 115 yards? Two sacks for Jonathan Grenner, 2 for Danielle Hunter. And no turnovers. Have you tried streaming on PC? My computer is just not, like, strong enough. I know we tried to do, like, streaming with it on in the past. And it didn't really work. I don't know if that was the same computer, though. Because I've gotten another computer within the last, like, couple years. It probably was the same one. I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't. All right, on to game 3. Which one will it be? We've got the Browns and the Huskies, or the Niners and the Bears. Lands on 1. Browns and Huskies is next. And lands on 2. Will be usering Cleveland. Am I supposed to root for the Huskies to win or lose? Because if they win, it would make our loss look not as bad. But I don't know. Alternate jerseys. Controller, stop spazzing. Alternate home. There we go. This is what you want. Oh, well, now I have to redo it. There we go. They look like a snowman. And then I'm not sure if Seafloor is here. He was here earlier. But if not, what do we want to do for the Browns? We've got brown. There's white. Got the alternate classic with the white face mask. My vote would be, I want to see something. Yes, this is hard. The white jerseys, but with the regular helmet and the white face mask. This goes hard. What do we think? I think Eric Andre will come to your house. If he does, I'm calling the cops. That'd be weird. Why is a grown man coming into my house and smashing my things? Why would we do white versus... Because you're not wearing white, you're wearing blue. That's the alternate. Do we have any objections with this? Because this is clean. Am I the only one who's always liked the Browns helmet? I don't know why. Like, I think helmets obviously look better with stuff on them, but there's something about the Browns helmet that I've just always liked. It's white blue. Yeah, but it's still blue. You can still tell the difference. All right, I see no objections. Let's ride. Broncos country. Game number 3. This is our first full watch game this cycle of the Cleveland Browns. We've seen them in spurts in Simcast games, but we haven't watched a full game yet. So I'm curious to see what this team is going to look like. Are we going to get MVP Lamar Jackson? These jerseys go really hard in game. I'm afraid I cooked, gentlemen. But are we going to get MVP Lamar Jackson, or are we going to get first round of the playoffs last year Lamar Jackson? Lions should get white helmets and yellow uniforms. That sounds like a horrible idea. Who's going to be the highest rated freshman? I'm not going to act like I'm some high school recruiting expert, but aren't they talking about Jeremiah Smith like he's supposed to be the reincarnation of Jesus? If that's the case, then it probably is going to be him. Him in Brian Hartline's receiving room? Sheesh. I'm scared. I'm sensing a Greg Dortch masterclass. I'm sensing that as well. Yeah, I can tell these two teams apart pretty easily. I don't think the colors are going to be a problem. Michael Pittman is hurt on the first play from scrimmage. Oof. Well, that's not a good start. And he's going to the locker room. It's still a big gain, so a good start for the Cleveland offense, but it ends in casualty. If I make it to NCAA 27, will you use or me? I will do a Road to Glory series with your player, even if he's an offensive lineman. Right on time. Yes, IT came at like the perfect time for his game too. You guys are cooking. Jeremiah Smith is going to be nice as hell. If he plays over like some good upperclassmen who are going to be future NFL players, then I guess that should probably say something. I'm going to move full-time to defensive. Oh, thank God. I was not hoping to do an offensive guard Road to Glory. Respectfully. My cornerbacks are underrated. As Noah Fant gains like 30 yards on a wheel route. I want an offensive line Road to Glory so bad. I feel like it would be fun for like a game or so. Especially in the run game. to just maul dudes. After a game or two, I don't know. I don't know if I could stick with it. But for a game, I think it'd be fun. Really just run blocking. I don't know if pass blocking would be all that fun. But I think the run game would. Like, the pinnacle of living out my failed athletic career. Oh, here's Lamar. Fumble! Oh, wait. I thought the orange line that popped up was the red one for fumble, because I wasn't looking at the screen. Or I was like turning my head, starting to look at the screen, and I thought that said fumble. I'm sorry for scaring everybody. As the Browns score, I think that's Rachaad White. Yes, it is. And so Cleveland marches down the field. They lose Michael Pittman, but they still score a touchdown. If you had an argument with your quarterback, you just let him get mauled. Perfect. If he doesn't get everyone on the offensive line flat screen TVs and a new fancy car, I'm letting you get sacked, buddy. Your CVs got cooked by Cocky 2. Oh, here he is. The man, the myth, the legend is ready to curse somebody today. He should have come from the next game. We need another Bears divisional round to games disaster class. It's over. The Cleveland Browns have stopped the Huskies. I can already see it. What are you going to do if he's like Julian Fleming? That'd be kind of depressing if Jeremiah Smith turns into Julian Fleming. Although Julian Fleming played high school ball not too far away from me. And I guess to be fair, now he's going to college not too far away either. Oh, DeGames is thinking. He's plotting. If these guys don't block, I'm building the all-white team. Can I trade for Max Crosby, since you're not going to need him anymore? Herbert dropped. Can I live out Deebo Samuel's playoff run since he was on our team for over half the season? We're taking zone steps, we're reaching for the outside shoulder, we're double teaming on the way to the mic, we're identifying the cornerback blitzes. Here we go. Okay, you're starting to talk me into this whole offensive line road to glory thing. I wasn't about it at first, but maybe we can make it work. Time to stay on the offensive line, Hector. Would you do Max for Tucker's... Hell no. Not a chance. I keep forgetting to ask for the main... Oh, yes. Someone please remind me before we go in the next game. I would like to see, so I can make fun of that coach for employing him. Huskies, hang up the phone on that. Good. Because I'm not doing it. You can have, You can have Zach Allen. You can have my 2 first-round picks this year. I should probably root for the Bears to lose now that I realize I had their pick. That's right. And I have plenty of day 2 picks. You want them? What's with the Butker hate? First Denmark, now you. Have you been living under a rock? Respectfully. Wish Nassib didn't retire so I could try to have Nassib and Butker on the same roster. Yikes. Those two will get along just fine. Put in Will Levis. Who's going to tell him? I cannot physically put in Will Levis because I am usering the Browns. That's why I don't let either team make switches during the game. Because I can only do it for one team if I wanted to. And it ironically is not your team. So even if I really wanted to, if I wanted to rig it for you, I couldn't. Unless I quit out of the game and force one for you, then I guess I could rig it. But I don't think I'm going to do that. Weird way to pronounce you're racist. Okay, sure. Floats it up. Noah Fant wide open. They cannot defend those wheel routes. They're just like the St. Louis Dragons. They cannot defend the tight end wheels. Random, but Alex Kirilloff is probably my favorite baseball player. I'll tell you what, I didn't think someone was going to say here in today's stream that Alex Kirilloff is their favorite baseball player. But hey, sometimes life throws you lemons. You got to make lemonade. He just hit a home run on us. Okay, he's my favorite too. Actually, maybe not. Would I rather the Twins lose or the Guardians lose? Can both teams lose, please? What U.S. president will be the best NFL player? I think Gerald Ford played at Michigan, so there's that. Say what you want about Donald Trump, but he's like 6'3", 270. Imagine him and his athletic prime at running back. Abe Lincoln was athletic. Abe Lincoln was also tall as hell, too. Put him on the outside at receiver, have him bulk up, make him my T. Higgins. Now we're talking. Acting as if the Tigers have a chance. If the offense is not a bottom 5 offense in baseball, then yes, the team has a chance. The problem is, so far, it has not been not bottom 5. As the Browns convert on 4th down, good play. Donnie's built like an edge rusher. Well, I guess he's got to wait for it. John F. Kennedy was in the Navy, so yeah, he'll be fit. Obama, of course, can hoop. We've all seen the clips. He's a sniper. Nice throw. Damn, right in the bread box. For Ola B.C. Johnson. And the Browns look like a number 1 seed. They're up 14-0. The Cinderella run's not looking good. Surely he's 270 in fat and not muscle, but still, 270 is 270. Give him some muscle. Make him like 320. Put him at the nose. Now we're talking. George Washito. Yes. Hector, do you think these presidents will be able to play with the Shanghai Sharks in the Yao Ming dynasty? Saying sniper after mentioning JFK. I didn't even make that connection. Jeez. I almost made a bad Abe Lincoln joke, but I decided not to. Wow, Justin Herbert was 1 for 6 before that play. Why couldn't we get this Justin Herbert last week? Yao Ming dynasty was from 1483 to... Why did it stop in 2000? I saw this conspiracy theory today on Twitter, which is why it's probably not true, that like 300 years were skipped in like the 700s. So we should be like in the year 1726 or something. Give him an extra foot, he could pass as Chet Holmgren. Well, he's got the frame. He's got the beard, kind of. I guess Chet Holmgren's working on it. Those two might be long-lost cousins. It's Torover. Cleveland has got this game in the bag. They are too dominant for Toronto. Looks like we're getting a game, boys. They're starting to move it down the field. Fitting timing that the game said they didn't have a chance. Another first down. Good play after the catch. They get it to the 21. Another nice play to the 1. Is that Debo? That looks like Debo. Yeah, that is Debo. Abe has a top hat. Chet has a do-rag. But other than that, and height, they're pretty much the same. If I lose... Okay, you do that, buddy. Why would you say that when you're down 14-0? Is Bob Carpenter a politic name? Like, does he sound like a politician? Well, he sounds like an old white guy. So, yeah, I guess so. I have old BC Johnson on the field. I'm not too confident. Yeah, but he made a nice catch, to be fair. Abe Lincoln was 7 foot. No, he wasn't 7 foot tall, but he had 7 foot to walk with. Instead of 2, he was born with 7. It was a birth defect. Isaiah Pacheco runs like he has 7 foot sometimes as well as he scores the touchdown. Please win. Why do you want the Browns to win? Wouldn't you rather the Huskies since they're probably worse? I mean, I guess the Browns winning hurts the Condoms' chances, but are the Condoms better than the Browns? I'm sticking my 7 feet inside the brow K. And the 7 feet joke is over. Fun while it lasted, though. So far, so good for Lamar. He's not looking like the Rams playoff game version of himself. Maybe this time around he's actually going to stay on his team. Tommy Tremble. I didn't even realize he was on the Browns. It's fitting because in OFL 22, Tommy Tremble was nasty on that Browns team. Greg Dulcich before Greg Dulcich. What was dumber, the Lamar trade or the Hector trade? Ooh, that's a good question. Probably the Hector trade because you got less and you traded him to a division rival. At least Frank sent him to the other conference. You see the 2 Kansas City offensive linemen arrested today for... Huh? Like, Kansas City Chiefs? That team needs to get a grip. My God, Rashee Rice has done everything bad this offseason. Xavier Worthy has his car stolen. Harrison Butker is like a crazy misogynist. And now this? Those 2 offensive linemen, to be fair, they look like saints compared to everybody else. And worst of all, Kadarius Toney has bricks for hands. That team definitely does not have a Super Bowl culture. They've got no chance to win anything. That would explain why they've lost early in the playoffs the last 2 years. To 2-time Super Bowl champion Josh Allen. You were literally my only offer. You didn't need to trade him. You should have just kept him. Your team won like 14 games that 1 year and lost in the playoffs. But still, you didn't have to trade him. Apart from Nickinator and Giddy and like 7 other people. Well, why'd you agree to my trade? I don't think my deal was like that good. I mean, I'm sure I gave you like solid starting caliber players and picks. I know I gave you Greg Newsome and like Tyler Boyd. I don't think Tyler Boyd started on my team, to be fair. Was Malik Willis in that trade too? What happened to Malik Willis after I traded for Hector? I honestly could not tell you what happened to Malik Willis after that. Bubba Bolden. Is that Bubba? Bubba Bolden's a real person. That's not Bubba Bolden. That might be somebody else. But Bolden is there with the sack. Browns are going to look to kick from 53. And he got it. Does that mean I have to trade T-Law to the Cardinals? Yes, and you have to eat the entire contract. Congratulations. Shout out Greg Newsome. Why couldn't Greg Newsome be good a year earlier? Why do you have to wait a year? Damn, my Vikings team really had the OFL Cowboys. They had Terry McLaurin, who I guess wasn't on the Cowboys for that long, but he was. Najee Harris is on the Cowboys this year. Does that count? As it's picked off by Jair Alexander. So Justin Herbert throws a pick. We're getting the week 3 versus the Rams version of Justin Herbert. It's like a coin flip. Which version of Justin Herbert are you going to get? Are you going to get the one who carves up the Jets and the Chargers? Or are you going to get the one who loves throwing it to the other team? Why couldn't we get this Justin Herbert in week 18 or the wild card round? Damn it. That's better than the 3 and out I was hoping for. Instead, it's like a 1 and out. It is game. Herbert is blinded by the Cleveland Courage. The glazing is crazy. What's an OFL team that's terrible right now that could win a ring in the next 3 seasons? Ooh, that's a good question. I will say this with the Rams. If I was them, I would try to trade for a really good player. Somebody like Lamar Jackson. I think if the Rams got Lamar Jackson, they could be a contender. But no, in a serious answer, the Bengals and the Seahawks both are probably good answers. Would they qualify as terrible, though? If they qualify as terrible, then yes, I'll put my chips with them. Why did the Rams trade Lamar again? I don't get it either. He had one bad playoff game. When I'm in a don't overreact challenge, and my opponent are the OFL coaches, Browns are going to settle for another field goal. It's 20-7. As Kaimi Fairbairn is 2 for 2. And the Browns have still scored on every drive. At least with Dak, he was expiring. And Lamar Jackson's also not Dak Prescott. As much as I like Dak in this game, because I think he's quite good. And again, he probably should be a Charger. But then nobody wanted Tush Push Man. Browns are too good at field goals. Toronto stands 0 chance. I don't think you want field goals on every drive, though. Which is a good thing that Cleveland scored 2 touchdowns to start the game. I think Jair's in the zone as well. That is probably not good news for Justin Herbert. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. The Browns have looked like the real deal so far. That might get Jair out of the zone. It's a huge gain, and he's out of bounds. There they go. Alternate timeline. Browns win 33-18. Only 11 field goals. How are we going to be able to have 17 scoring drives total? That was a good throw. He wasn't in bounds, but it was still a good throw. Herbert hit by Garrett. They'll get another first down, though, and again, stop the clock. And time shouldn't be an issue. They've got all 3 timeouts, and they have it at the 23, so I don't think they're going to have to worry about the clock. Up the middle, Deebo Samuel to the 7. I give Toronto credit. They looked bad through the first, 10 minutes of the game, but they've woken up. I wonder whose fault it is that the Huskies are playing better. Maybe the guy who said that the game is over. They're cooking the games, Lord. First and goal. They're chewing clock, as they should. But Herbert throws it away. Now at the 7, it's Myles Garrett into the backfield. It was only a matter of time until he showed up. I hope DeGames has his Bears merch. Oh, you know DeGames loves his Bears. He's done it before. He'll do it again. Stand back. Third and goal. Garrett again. Back to back, and he's going to be in the zone to start the second half. Uh-oh. And arguably more important, it will remain as a 2-score game, which is a big relief for Cleveland. Myles Garrett is Toronto's daddy. I agree. He was their father in OFL 22. Let me cook. And then Hector drafted him in OFL 23. I wonder what happened after that. This is karma for trading him away to me. Garrett will have 10 sacks this game and will win MVP. I feel like DeGames is making a little too easy on himself there. Shoot for the stars. Myles Garrett is the only one that can beat DeGames. Not if DeGames is betting on him to do well, though. Lamar is 10 for 18. I mean, it doesn't matter because he's consistently looked downfield, so it's fine. But he's completed less than 60% of his passes. Up the middle, wide open. To the 27. That might be Olabisi Johnson again. People saying Myles Garrett. Who did I vote for Defensive Player of the Year? I don't even remember. Myles Garrett tears all first play of the second half. Man, his all muscle got torn. That's so sad. And Cleveland's going to tack on another field goal, 23-10, going into the half. Unless we get something weird. Imagine if we get a kick return touchdown here. Instead, we get a Derwin James slam to the ground. And that'll wrap things up in the first half. The Browns lead Toronto 23-10. Now, the Huskies do start with the ball in the second half, so they've got some time. They're not out of it, but they've got a lot of work to do, and they've got to do it pretty fast. I can't wait for Darius Springer to go up by 5 next player progression. No! He cursed Springer! No! 40, 12, 9 to 10 assists per... Wow, you really did curse him. 3 to 4 steals, 1 to 2 blocks. Keep my players' names out your damn mouth. Well, Darius Springer fan club, it's been real. But, so much for that. Why is Myles Garrett in coverage? Levi Onwuzurike with the sack. It's a coverage sack because Myles Garrett was locking up the tight end. DeGames hope that... No, DeGames, I heard you don't like Jared Goff. Jared Goff steals from the poor. And he hurts homeless kids with sticks. You don't like him. I was about to ask the same thing. You guys are mean. How about we make society better overall? DeGames, tell me why you think Deshaun Watson should win the MVP. DeGames, what are your thoughts on the Harrison Butker situation? I can't wait to hear this. Hall of Fame instigator. TJ Watt could never. Facts. Myles Garrett clears. Look at us using edge rushers and coverage to push an agenda. How unshameless. Good throw by Herbert. I almost called him Hector. I'm still used to Hector being the quarterback of the Huskies, even though that was 2 years ago, as Mike Gesicki's hurt. Oh, Gesicki's had a nice game. 4 for 77. Didn't Hector wear number 8, too? I could be wrong. What if the NBA added a 4-point line and a 5-point line? Is the 5-point line half court? Are we teaching our children to shoot from beyond half court? What happened to our beautiful game? As Isaiah Pacheco scores once again, we need Apollo Thanopoulos Jr. 7'7" with an 8'1" wingspan. How about no? Most humans don't grow to 7'7". If there's a running back overall higher than Ollie Gordon, I will have to make a burner Twitter account and go crazy. What happens when Donovan Edwards is the highest rated running back in the game? All of that for the 3.5 yards per carry he had prior to the national championship. If they had played a real team in the championship other than Washington, his numbers would look quite a bit worse. Instead of 8 titles, make it 16. Yes, 16 championships. That will definitely happen. I didn't say this season for Springer. I hope you meant never. You are supposed to keep his name out your mouth. Let him progress on his own. We have an MVP caliber player, and the game just trying to kill him. I accidentally created some super tall freaks when I created Buana. Buana really was a pioneer. He led the revolution of foreign 7'3" plus bigs with skill. Although I don't think Buana himself was that skilled, if I remember correctly, but point remains. Aaron Judge is playing insane right now. He's been wild over the last couple of weeks. My AL MVP pick is finally looking good. Me being the Juan Soto stan really shouldn't have picked Aaron Judge, but I mean, it's kind of worked. I mean, he's not winning right now, but he's making progress. Buana was nice. Yeah, but Uzoma clears, I'm afraid. 3-point line is 24 feet. 4-point line is 34. 7-point line is 93. Why a big gap between... There's not much of a gap between 5 and 6, but why is there a big gap between 6 and 7? Are 6-point shots the new, like, high-efficiency value play? Yes, because 50 feet shots is exactly what we want in efficiency. Incoming Lamar Jackson rushing touchdown as it's picked off! Ivan Pace takes it all the way for a pick 6. I forgot this team had Elijah Moore, just like the real Browns. Instead of a pick 6, Ivan Pace is leveling dudes. I remember him from my last team in OFL. Congratulations. He's actually a relevant NFL player who went undrafted last year for God knows what reason. Size doesn't matter, guys. Just because it's only 2 to 3 inches doesn't mean you can't do it. Because I believe in you. 1-point line is 2 feet. Or 1-point line is 1 feet. 2-point line is 2 feet. So what? Steph Curry's 30-foot shots are worth 30 points? That court's going to look like a rainbow if every foot is a different point line. Noah Fant is too goated and strong. That's glazing. Make that 500 yards for him. He's probably got like 80. Okay, let's slow down. Well, now he's got like 82 because he's in the end zone for a touchdown. And now the Browns are going to go for 2, look to make it a clean 14-point deficit. Every inch should be a point. I agree. Every single inch matters, guys. Nice hands, bucko. That was right on the money. NBA court becomes the new pride flag. And in unrelated news, ticket sales in Boston have drastically plummeted. No wonder Butker plays football. No wonder he kicks balls. I don't know who that guy is, but he's gone. What if he catches the game-winning touchdown in the OFL wall? Bold to assume he can catch. Pacheco really has been a fantasy football merchant today. He scored twice, but he is 3.3 yards a carry. To be fair, his offensive line hasn't really done him any favors. Butker sales in Boston skyrocket. It makes me laugh seeing that the Harrison Butker jersey sales have gone up. Because for one thing, the same people buying them are the same people who swore they'd stop watching the NFL when Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for the anthem. And now they're giving the league $150 for a jersey of the kicker that they're probably never going to wear. First of all. And then secondly, why are you spending all that money on a kicker? It's not Patrick Mahomes, buddy. It's a kicker. As that brings us into the fourth. The Browns lead 29-17. We'll see if they can hang on. Two coaches who have never gotten past the divisional round. Well, to be fair, this is Seafloor's first time in the playoffs to begin with. Justin Tucker, the price is worth it. Yes, well, Justin Tucker is the people's king. He's a different story. He's cool. They're hating on gay people, but doing all this meat riding, spending $150 on a kicker. What if it was Matt Gay who said the commencement speech? Would those people still buy the shirt or buy the jersey? I'm not so sure about that. Third and 3. Toronto's got to get something going quick. 7.5 to go. It's now or never. And their offensive line wants it to be neither. At the 36, you got to go for it. Field goal does nothing. Imagine if they kick. That'd be funny. That'd be sad, but that'd be funny. Yeah, they'll go for it. Incoming sack by Miles Daddy Garrett. Okay. Doing tricks on it, I see. Ooh, it's broken up. Big hit. That was in his hands. I think that's Chris Barnes. Interception by Garrett. I don't think he's going back into coverage. I hope. Justin Tucker and Yunwei Koo. The only kickers worth it for this price. Until Jake Bates, or whatever his name, enters the league. Respect future Lion Jake Bates. Toronto is officially doomed. Wow, that's a bold statement. Down by 12, don't have the ball. Good run by Rachaad White. He took a hit at the end. These games have been unexciting. I'm surprised. I expected these games to be kind of crazy. It's been a complete opposite from the wild card round where every game was a thriller. These games have been fairly competitive. Like, they haven't been like blowouts. I think the first game kind of cursed us because the Ravens and Condoms were competitive in the first half. Touchdown, Lamar to Tremble, as in touching down out of bounds after a gain of 9. Noah Fant has 106 yards. He's only 394 away from the game's projected total. Brandon Stevens hits one out the park to cut the lead down to 11. Big hit, but he hangs on. Noah Fant again. Maybe the games was right to glaze him up. He's been sucking in these balls all day. I feel like the Browns should probably just focus on running the ball. I think an even bigger deal than scoring would be taking like 2.5 minutes off the clock. Okay, well, that time it works. Now it's 3rd and 2. I almost called them the Ravens again. If the Browns don't get... Okay, never mind. I was going to say if they don't get it, should they go for it? But so much for that. They get it to the 3. Looking to put an exclamation on this one and punch their ticket to the AFC Championship with the Condoms awaiting. And there you go. Rachaad White finishes it off, and that's probably going to do it. We only had one simcast in the wildcard round, but every game today has been a simcast. 36-17. Will the Huskies score again? No, they're stopped in the red zone. And there you go. So the Browns are moving on to the AFC Championship. They win 36-17. The Browns and the Condoms. That's going to be a good game. Lamar Jackson played really well for the most part. A lot better than his Rams game. Hug a Rams fan indeed. Justin Herbert was not so good. He didn't throw 4 picks, but he wasn't very good. Big difference in the ground game. Shout out Rachaad White. He played quite well. Noah Fant was really good. Debo had 100. No Greg Dortch masterclass. Oh, God, definitely no masterclass. He had 3 drops. You should maybe trade Greg Dortch to, like, us. Yeah, nobody else had more than 1. And defensively, Myles Garrett with a big game. For all the times Myles Garrett's been on my teams, he's only won 1 championship. Myles Garrett's like my bad luck charm, I think. But maybe he'll win 1 in Cleveland. And with that, we've got 1 game to go. And it lands on 2. That is the 49ers. First pitch at Xander's hand. Shot it straight to second. Oh, Butker. Yes, Butker. Where is Butker? Thank you for the reminder, gentlemen. Jalen Hurts is a 99 since when? I did not know about this. I get it's with morale, but damn. Okay, did not know that. Best player in the OFL. Lenny. We've got a chat, buddy. Yikes. Mr. Morale. He's so happy. Probably because he's on a beach in Mexico right now. That's why he's happy. Which, to be fair, if I was on a beach in Mexico right now, I'd be pretty happy too. So I don't blame him. I know I said when I got that phone call that some things like OFL take priority, but if the choice is OFL or Mexico, I hate to break it to you guys, but I'm not picking you. 2017 alternates. Niners by 40 in that case. Islands, Mexico. Sure, that works too. Any kind of beach, I'll pick that. Any kind of resort place. Doesn't even have to be Cancun. Send me to Hawaii or the Caribbean or wherever you want. Meet Morale Man. Michigans. Or should we now say the Giants? Especially if it's an all-inclusive resort. You know, I can't blame Jalen Hurts for preferring that over than playing the condoms. Because that's who we would have played had we won. 3 down, 1 to go. The Niners and the Bears. Who will be the last team to make it to Conference Championship weekend? If it is the Bears, that means nobody from last year's Conference Championships will make it back. The Niners look to be the only one to return. San Francisco's first playoff game since their OFL Bowl loss last year. As for the Bears, they barely got by Dallas in the wild card round. They either trailed or had it tied literally the whole game except for the last 30 seconds. But that's all they needed to win. And before we start, that's the wrong button. Okay, well, I guess I'm returning this kick. I just rigged it, guys. I'm sorry. Well, here is Trevor Lawrence. Coming off a pretty good season. He didn't get to pad his stats against Seattle, though. All right, I'll be back in around 30 seconds. Don't bomb the place. And don't say anything that Harrison Butker would approve of. Okay, and we're back. All-inclusive food in Mexico sucks. I think they try to poison you. Well, did it work? Look at Trevor. Beyblade move on the first play of the game. He's got Tyreek for 56. This is why I did not get the game going. Because I would have missed out on this. Matt Waldron is pitching today, guys. Oh, yes. Knuckleball Man is here to save the day. I remember when I first played against him in MLB The Show, and I was very confused. I was like, who in God's name is this? And why am I getting these 63-mile-an-hour meatballs that I'm completely whiffing? The real underrated vacation spot is Bahrain. Philippines are cool, too. Philippines, you say? A vacation with Sherwin. That sounds like it'd be a fun week. He passed great. Don't do that again. It would have been better if we didn't hear your voice. Okay. Oh, I can't time out mods? That's so... I can only report or block. That's so stupid. Damn. Okay. Well, so much for that. Niners don't do anything after the big play. They'll settle for 3. And so it's 3-0. Guys, you might need to get sheltered Because the Chicago Bears watched offense is coming onto the field. This will be interesting. I was going to say, is he going to return this kick? I almost hope he does. That way we don't have to see the Bears offense for a while. But here's Hector Turkey Estrada, who, to his credit, did play quite well, especially in the fourth quarter last week against the Cowboys. And they do have some good players, even if they're a shaky unit, including Bijan Robinson, who gets 3. Wrapped up by formerly overly high trade asset Matt Milano. Can't silence me, loser. I know, it's unfortunate. It didn't even... Oh, I know why. Because I'm on my main account. That's probably why. Because I'm not on my OFL account. I'm too lazy to switch. You win. I give up. They're running it early and often with Bijan. As he gets 8. Now it's a 3rd and 2. And he gets stuffed. Micah Hyde leads the way for the defense. And Chicago's going to have to punt it. So here returns to the Niners offense. They really only had one good play on their last drive, but it was a pretty good one. Please don't throw like a madman. Tush push. I mean, Hector Turkey Estrada is not the biggest guy, so he doesn't have the Jalen Hurts quads. I don't know if it would have worked. Now Joe Mixon loses a yard. Second and 11. Trevor Lawrence tried to kind of do it again, but he does not get rid of it. He's sacked by T.J. Watt. And now it's a 3rd and 20. He's dancing again. He's lucky to get rid of it. That was almost a safety from Matthew Judon. Body built by Taco Bell. So now the Bears return with good field position. All it takes is a couple first downs and you're in field goal range. I do find it funny that there are so many players with abilities on these teams, while the Browns have Lamar Jackson and star dev Noah Fant. Abilities matter, but there's always a number of players who slip through the cracks who are always random. No abilities, no aura, no nothing. They put up 100 yards a game like Greg Dulcich. Trevor's lawyer is going to get sued by me if he keeps doing 360s in the pocket. Bro thinks he's Bryce Young. Can't evade pressure to save his life. All aura. Does Greg Dulcich have aura, guys? That's a good question. Good run by Hector Turkey Estrada to the 13. Just straight vibes. Nothing but gas. That was a risky throw. Good hit by Milano. Now a pitch for Bijan. I feel bad aura about this game. Well, you are winning. I mean, you might not be winning for much longer, but you are winning. 3rd and 7. Incomplete. So San Francisco's defense holds up in the red zone just as the Bears did. And now they'll have to kick. I feel like I'm better than both teams. That's the spirit. Now, if you lose in the NFC Championship, then people are going to let you remember that. But it's still the spirit. It doesn't feel safe. I feel icky about T-Law's play so far. You feel icky. I guess that's one way to put it. I mean, other than the big first play, the offense hasn't really done much of anything. But there's still time. It is still early. I'm back. Phone died for a while. I'm skipping back to watch my game. Bad news, Giddy. You lost by 50. That'll wrap up the first. 3-3. 5 carries for 9 yards. Joe Mixon has not gotten off to a very good start. The Bears' run defense has done a great job with him so far. It was 38 gazillion to 4. Yes, the 4 is for the 2 safeties. Which now apparently were done by the same team. Second and 7. There's a good run for Mixon. Now he's awake. The 4 was out of pity. Okay, fair enough. They wrote a 4 on the scoreboard so the other team wouldn't feel as bad. It was 38-0. All safeties. 19 safeties for one team. That might be a record. I cannot confirm, but it might be. I'm willing to bet that it is. But I can't tell you for a fact. 3rd and 7. He throws it away. Bears hold up. Trevor Lawrence is 1 for 6. With 56 yards, of course. But yeah, they're going to have to punt it. They're not close enough to really go for it. They can try to pin him deep. Oh, God, he shanked that bad. Down at the 29. What a shank. Now here come the Bears. Bijan loses a yard. Both teams have not been able to run the ball so far. We had so many teams run the ball well in the wild card stream, and now barely anybody is today, other than Rachaad White. Shout out Rachaad White. Third and 5. Bijan Robinson gets the first. T-Law, you have 3 X factors to throw to. Yeah, but here's the thing. He doesn't seem to want to throw the ball until he's under duress with 3 guys in the pocket. Rachaad White took the Sean Tucker mantle as the best running back in the playoffs after the Chargers lost. Sean Tucker and Saquon Barkley were right at the top, but their teams fell. And now Rachaad White on the podium all alone. Sean Tucker at best is 8th. If Sean Tucker doesn't get hurt, we would have won the game. Oh my! Oh, it's intercepted! I thought that was going to be caught by the Bears. Micah Hyde picks it off. It isn't a Bears game without a double coverage yeet, which leads to a turnover. The one defensive back, the first one, he overcommitted and overran the play. So I thought Bijan was going to be open and catch it, but Micah Hyde swoops in at the right time. I was so sure that was going to be a touchdown. So the Niners catch a break and a pick. Here's Trevor Lawrence, his first completion in a while. Calvin Ridley, anytime reception. Minus 500. Give me the cash. I bet $5 on that. Where's my $1 reward? Uh-oh, TJ Watt's hurt. The Bears did get a loss of 2, but if he goes to the locker room, that could prove to be a bigger deal, and he will. Uh-oh. Lawrence under pressure. He's sacked by Zadarius Smith. I did this. Wow. You hurt TJ Watt? Shame. Shame on this man. 3rd and 21. They're just going to run the ball. They don't want to lose more yards as Mixon gets 3. Throw it. Are we sure he can even throw it to begin with? There's Bijan, he gets 8. Now Dolchich with a play. Watch game. Dolchich is awake. Touch them like that. Whoa. I don't know about all that. That seems like a bit much. Nice catch. Mike Evans. Mike Evans has finally done something in a Bears watch game. We've watched the Bears probably 5 or 6 times this cycle. That might be his longest catch. That brings us to the 2-minute warning. If the Bears can actually get Mike Evans cooking, the sky might be the limit. Did he catch that in slow motion? Well, to be fair, it is Mike Evans. But he hasn't exactly done that the other times we've watched this team. Oh, that was right in his hands. Nearly another pick. James Bradbury could have made the play, but he hurt his hamstring, realizing that the retirement home is right across the street. 3rd and 10. Incomplete. We went from turn down the sliders to turn up the sliders within one stream. Impressive. That means I must have done too well. Bears will take their first lead of the game, though, with the field goal. So here come the Niners. They trail for the first time today. They've done nothing on offense since that first play of the game. And this won't help. Matthew Judon with the sack. The Bears' front unit has been electric today. Second and 18. They're going screen. Good effort by Mixon. As Stephon Gilmore is hurt. The Bears probably would have called a timeout anyway there. Now Gilmore is going to the locker room. That's 2 defensive starters. They're down. And they're just going to run the ball. I'm low-key scared of the Bears' defense and watch. I don't blame you. I mean, this is a defensive team through and through. Really the identity of those old Bears teams that were good. Probably the only good Bears teams ever. And now Chicago can add to their lead. And don't forget, they do start with the ball in the second half. Let's not... Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Niners country. Let's rock. So that's why they're losing. Under 30 to go. Wide open is Dulcich. Watched game. Greg has arrived. Are they going to call the timeout? Okay, yeah, they're going to kick. You're not wrong. Okay, that's what I'm just checking. That's what I thought. So the Bears are in a pretty good spot. They're up by 6. They're going to start with the ball. No one has scored a touchdown yet. We were close a couple times. But neither team has found the end zone. If you told me the Bears would not have scored a touchdown in the first half before this game, I wouldn't have been that surprised. I can't say the same about the Niners, and it looks like that's going to stay the case. He's got a chance to take it all the way, and he will. A kick return at the end of the first half for Nick Jackson, the rookie. And the Niners are going to have the lead after all, going into halftime. Todd, I apologize for jinxing you guys. I did not mean to do that. I remember when Nick Jackson was drafted, I was like, wow, this white boy is fast as hell. Well, now we get to see it in real time. Are they not going to kick? Oh, no, they aren't. I was going to say, do you not want to take the lead? So we do get a touchdown here at the end of the half. On a kick return with a second left. And so after all that, the Niners have the lead. We'll see if they can hold on. What do I think Caleb is going to do during his rookie season? For Bears quarterback standards, I think he's going to do pretty well. Certainly doesn't hurt having all those weapons to throw to and a semi-solid offensive line. Doesn't mean the offense is better. That's a good point. But if this game is within one possession, that could be the difference. David Fletcher did what now? He did what? Former All-Star David Fletcher? Hector Turkey Estrada goes deep on the first play of the half. He's incomplete, though. Denmark Devil Luck. Who would have thought? Hector Turkey Estrada's going deep again. He's got a man open. It's Mike Evans to the 5. Mike Evans did something? Better yet, he outran somebody at like 30,000 years old. The corner's probably older than him, to be fair. A huge play for Chicago. And now they can get the lead back. That won't do it for Bijan. Why is Mike Evans wearing 85? I think we asked this during the last game. I wish I had a good answer for you. As Bijan walks it in, and the Bears are back ahead, and now they're going to go for 2. And it's an octopus! Bijan Robinson scores all 8 points. I'm still sad. I upgraded a Did you upgrade a quarterback? I don't know about that one. I would pick Will Levis for right now over Jaime. Running back, edge, defensive tackle, and somehow still ended up bad. Well, that's the fun of Madden. You don't know what you're going to get. So the Niners get it back. They're down by a touchdown, which is kind of what they were expecting to happen once they would get the ball back. Maybe not in this way, but here we are. As Mixon loses 2. Matthew Judon. Let's get this, T-Law, or else Mac is starting. Well, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to start Mac because you're going to be out. Second and 12. Keep on mauling. Uh-oh! Well. If it isn't who I think it is. He's back! Oh, wow, the Bears got the stop. So they just want to make this even more depressing, don't they? You need to root for the Niners. No, DeGames is a front runner. He only roots for the team that's winning. Would anyone like a reminder of the last time DeGames hopped in during a Bears divisional round playoff game? Hell to T-Law. Oh, okay. What did I do? Don't get mad at me. Yeah, Mike Evans has 100 yards. I don't even know if he has 113 yards combined in the 7 times that we've watched the Bears this year. Or this cycle, I should say. Not this year, obviously. Good defense. Ayuk was kind of open. Against an NFC West team. Yeah, you're right. If that pass had a little bit more loft on it, Ayuk has taken that for about 40 yards. Ooh, good play after the catch by Mike Evans to reach for the first down. What playbook is the Bears? I know he was the last person to change it. He might be running the Rams. It is the Rams, yeah. It's over. It's still halfway through the third quarter, and you've got the games on your side. So I don't think it's quite over. Oh, that corner could have jumped that route and made a play. The Twins have 1 hit, and it's the solo homer. Shout out Alex Kirilloff. He's been like 0 for 1 today. Actually, he's like 2 for 3. Because he got Noah Fant wrong, and he got Myles Garrett wrong, even though those were like obvious ones. They still kind of count. The game time is at... Look, a blind squirrel finds a nut. A broken clock is right twice a day. It happens. Hector is sacked. Jordan Elliott leads the way. Along with friends. I'm washed. Get your powers back to games. You can do it. David Fletcher was throwing knuckleballs in AAA. And he just got busted for betting with the same bookie as Ohtani's dudes? No way. That's crazy. The Ohtani lore grows with David Fletcher. He might have made that. Oh, no, he missed it. He had the distance, though. 20-10 Bears. He's back, guys. He's not washed. That kick had the distance, but it was wide right. Harrison Butker would be proud. What time is it? It's the game time. Now the Niners get it at like the 50. Good start for Mixon. Second and 3. What are you doing, idiot? He is so lucky that wasn't picked. He was throwing it right at 2 Bears defenders. Trevor Lawrence has been stinky today. Extra stinky. I changed my pick. I want the Niners in the conference championship. Well, that's easy to say when they're not playing well. What happens if they do come back? That's JC. JC Jackson should have at least like 75 catching. Yikes. I didn't move. Oh my god, it's a fake! And they don't get it. What a surprise, because fake punts don't work in this game. You know what? I respect the ballsiness. Was it a stupid call? Yes. I did this. Actually, I did do this. I'm 5 for 12. You're right. I did do this. T-Law is dog crap. He should be traded. I would rather have Mr. Bean than T-Law. Oh. Well, that's funny. It's picked off by Cody Barton. And the Niners are going to get the ball right back. What is this game? The last 10 minutes have been drunk. So it's like the Niners converted the fake punt after all. Turn down interceptions. We didn't just see J.C. Jackson drop one right in his hands 3 minutes ago. It only affects the Bears. Now that the game time is in effect, the sliders have to reinforce that. Trevor completed a pass. We're making progress. If you take out the 50-some yard gain he had to start, Trevor Lawrence would have 5 completions for like maybe 30 yards. That's not very good. That first completion has more yards than the rest of his day combined. The games is working overtime. We'll never understand the methods to the madness, but it is working. Although the Bears are winning. But the Niners are scratching and clawing with some help from a friend. We'll see if they can come back in the fourth. The lack of TJ Watt is certainly hurting. The pass rush overall has been pretty good. But if TJ Watt was there, it would be a little bit better. Trevor spins around. Take a shot every time Trevor Lawrence or Bryce Young does that stupid spin. By the end of the stream, you might be blackout drunk. Oh, he actually throws the ball immediately, and it works. Joe Mixon to the 4. You trying to kill me? Clearly I am. Stop doing 360s. You're not Vince Carter. I saw a jump at the line of scrimmage. No flag. And Joe Mixon walks it in. We are tied at 17. So San Francisco will capitalize off of the interception by Cody Barton with their first offensive touchdown of the game. The scoring feels like the OFL Bowl. Who's going to be our Danny Gray? Well, I guess statistically it's probably Mike Evans. Mike Evans having a big game has been less likely this cycle than Danny Gray, so there's that. He didn't have to do that spin right there. That one was disrespectful. Even if most of the time it's been kind of stupid. Who's the Niners' backup? It's Mac Jones. They traded Mac Jones for Zach Wilson. That's why he has superstar, because of the season he had last year, where he beat the Niners in the OFL Bowl. He's trying to push the rivalry game agenda. This game certainly has not hurt Denmark's claim that this is the best rivalry we've got so far, with how weird it's been. He might have been cooking. Third and inches. Wow, that was right in his hands, too, and he drops it. Big hit for the Niners, and they'll get the ball back. A rare Brandon Ayuk miscue. And now the Niners will get it back with a tie game. Why are you letting it go? Oh, okay, never mind. It'll go in the end zone for a touchback. Trevor Lawrence, if you can hear us, please save this Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I don't really have much rooting interest, but it would be funny. I blame the games and refuse to accept this reality. The objective decision here is not to recognize there's anything wrong with the team, but it's the game's fault. The fact that it's happened twice shows that it's probably really not your fault. Everyone alive wants you to lose. I said in the first game that I didn't want Todd to win a ring, to be fair. I think the Niners winning would be the funnier result. Although, again, I just want a good game. I want chaos, and we're getting chaos. Chaos Coop finally shows up after his big playoff run last year. I don't think I've said his name once today. That's only his second catch. But now San Francisco's in field goal range at the 31. As Mixon loses 4. Matthew Judon, body built by Taco Bell. Josh Hart hurt? No! That sucks. Is it, like, bad? That would be unfortunate. Now at the 16, they're getting close. Looks bad. Ooh, that sucks. Got a feel for the next. Damn near half their team is hurt. Not even. It's probably more because Jalen Brunson got hurt a couple games ago. He's probably still dealing with that. 3rd and 1. If the Niners don't get this, what do? I feel like they're going to kick, but you can make the argument otherwise. And they catch it. Nice grab by Tyreek Hill. Way to hang on. That's a huge play. And now at the 1, they've got 4 chances to punch it in and take the lead. And they're only going to need 1. Joe Mixon. His second touchdown at the quarter. And the 49ers are on top. Who could have seen this coming 10 minutes ago when the game said the game is over? Well, I could have seen this coming, but here we are. If we had Gilmore, this could have been a different game. You're probably not wrong. If even one of T.J. Watt or Stephon Gilmore never gets hurt, it probably is different. So I don't know if I would say, actually, I guess it was a simcast. The game was close in the first half, though. Other than this game, I feel like that game was the most competitive. Even if the score says otherwise. Like, the Panthers beat the Eagles by 6. But I feel like that game was closer. Even if the score says otherwise. 4 minutes to go. Hector Turkey Estrada, if you can hear us. What do you got? Or, we don't give up a buzzer beater kick return touchdown. Is the SG devil work era over? It might be. Have you taken his powers? I feel like the games just has all the power. Why are you running? That's a good question. Why are you running? Under 3 minutes to go. I'm curious if the Bears score a touchdown if they go for 2. The Niners won in the divisional round last year because somebody went for 2, down by 1, being Atlanta. I'm going to be in the AFC Championship. That is correct. You are going to Cleveland against the Browns for a spot in the bowl. I'm just realizing all the coaches who are left have never won the OFL Bowl. Denmark's the only one who's made it, which was last year. Nobody else has, because Seafloor is new. MMGK's new. Todd has never gotten past the conference championship, and Giddey's never made it to the conference championship. And then Atlanta becomes the worst team in the league. The Bears are hoping that same fate does not happen to them. Flag. Ooh, roughing the passer, or face mask. I saw the personal foul and just assumed. I assumed wrong. So it's an automatic 15. They got the first down anyway. But I'd rather be at the opposing 38 rather than my own 47. Giddey has never made it past the first game. Oh, well, there you go. Until now. Ooh, what a throw by Hector Turkey Estrada for Ayuk. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. And what has been by far the best game of the day. The Bears, like last week, find themselves down, needing a touchdown. The only difference is a touchdown only ties, again, unless they go for 2. If I'm the Bears, I chew clock. I don't want the Niners to get it back. Try to score and position yourselves for overtime or a 2. HTE Legacy Drive. He has been impressive on this possession. Bijan is close, but he doesn't get it. They should let that clock go all the way down. Tick, 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 tick. And the later they score, I feel like the more likely they would go for 2. 3rd and goal. Play action. Hector, Turkey, Estrada. Throws it away. He avoids the sack, which I think is the biggest thing. I would have still tried something, but that's better than forcing a super bad pass or something or getting sacked. 4th and 1. I would run the ball. Give it to Bijan. I get the run offense has been subpar, but you got to trust him to get 1 yard. It's a pass. He's under pressure. He's got Bijan, who hangs on. What a catch. Bijan Robinson, with likely the season on the line, holds on. Taduka, what's good, FG? Came in at a good time, clearly. 45 seconds left. He needs 1. Hector Turkey Estrada, the strike for McCole Hardman. Charger legend bolts up, and now that poses the question. Do they go for 2? The Niners have seen this play out before, and it's worked out for them in the past. Ooh, they're going to review it. Okay, it looked like he was in, but I didn't take a close look. Anytime is a good time to listen to Octi. You know it. I think he's in. I think this is going to stand. Yeah. What are they going to do? Are they going to go for 2? No, they're going to kick. Okay. I don't think I would have the balls to go for 2 in that scenario, so I don't blame them. But this means they trust their defense. And their defense did play really well for most of this game, but they have slowed down. The Niners finally have scored offensive touchdowns on their last 2 drives. It buffered. When did it buffer? What an awful time to buffer. 40 seconds, 3 timeouts, all they need is a field goal. Where is the games when you need them? The last Niner playoff game went to overtime as well. Obviously, they lost. They're just going to start by running the ball. Wow, I don't like that at all. Grow a pair. Yeah, call the timeout. Grow a pair. Are they going to run the ball again? There's 1 receiver on the field. They have 3 tight ends. They're not even trying to score. Joe Mixon gets a first down. I think now they're going to go for it. But they wasted 2 timeouts. They got 10 yards out of it. But they only have 1 timeout. But all they need is 1 big play to put them in field goal range. And that's not going to... Oh, face mask! They're going to be in field goal range because of the face mask. Wow! They would have been on like the 45. They probably would have had to call their last timeout. But Brandon Jones is called for a face mask. They're now at the 30. And the clock stops. So they get to hold on to their timeout. It's a double whammy. Wow. What a costly flag. And now San Francisco can just run the ball. Let that clock go. Why would you run prevent? They needed 20 yards. Did they think the Niners were going to continue to run the ball? I think everyone with a pulse knew they were going to start throwing it. What if they... Okay, they called the timeout. I was going to say, what if they snap the ball and it takes more than 5 seconds to run the play? That would have been funny. Denmark Devil Lock, who would have thought? And now they can kick. Bears are going to look to ice them. For the win. Can the Niners get back to the NFC Championship? The only team to make it in both Season 1 and 2 of OFL 24. Bears should have been... To be fair, the Niners only ran the one play. They probably should have, though. You're right. From 42, he got it. And the 49ers are up by 3 off of a face mask from Brandon Jones. And the Bears are going to have one more chance, whether it's a kickoff. We've seen a kickoff return in this game. Okay, it's not going to be Hail Mary. It will be a kickoff. This is it. And they don't get it. The 49ers hang on. What time is it, guys? It's the game time. For every time that Todd has lost a divisional round playoff game in OFL 24 because of the games, if I got a nickel for each time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot. But it's weird that it's happened once, let alone twice. So San Francisco will host the Panthers. The higher-seeded team in the NFC is 5-0. We've got the 1 seed and the 2 seed, and then the 1 seed and the 3 seed in the AFC. Man, there's only one top 2 seed that isn't alive. I wonder who that could be. Hector Turkey Estrada, 69.9 QB rating. Nice. He did it the 2 interceptions. He did it the big drive late. As for Trevor Lawrence, during the duration of the game, he was not very good. But in the 4th quarter, give him credit, he stepped up. Both running backs made some big plays in the passing game, really. Mike Evans had a good performance, of course. Dulcich played well. Brandon Ayuk had a couple big drops, though. He's normally the guy on this Bears team who makes the plays at receiver, but not today. And obviously, Brandon Jones. Where's Brandon? He had 7 tackles, but he also had the play that lost him the game. Shout out Eddie Pinero. He had the game winner. Oh, they have Joey Sly. No wonder they missed. No wonder they had the distance on the kick he missed. Also, we got to shout out Nick Jackson, the rookie, out of Virginia Tech, with the kick return at the end of the first half. I said there's a chance that's the difference if it's a 1-score game. Lo and behold, that play was one of the differences. He missed a 63-yarder. Yeah, but he had the distance for it. It was long enough, but it wasn't accurate. That's the Joey Sly way. Even if it's a hard kick, it was far enough. So now we're down to 4. Last year, we had no top 3 seeds in the conference championship. This year, it's only teams in the top 3. It's the complete opposite. It's a 63-yard. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying it's funny. The two main plays to blame are the face mask and the kick return touchdown. Those 2 plays were the difference, I think. Browns, Condoms, Niners, and Panthers. 4 coaches who have never won championships. The Hail Mary, the game time, and the face mask. Or the game time, too. Funny making people not like him. Speedrun world record. What am I missing? Oh, Lord. I don't even think we looked at... Did we look at the players of the week last... That's the wrong button. Did we look at the players of the week last week? No, I don't think we did. David Montgomery, Joe Burrow, Bobby Wagner, and Kenny Moore. This week, we've got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Daniil Hunter, and Montez Sweat. What do all 4 of these guys have in common? They all won. What did I do? I don't like you. Damn, the hating is crazy. Let's check the injuries for these 4 teams, and then that'll do it. Niners. They've had a bunch of guys hurt. Now it's just Cameron Jordan. They're playing Carolina, who's got nothing. And then in the AFC, Browns, nothing. Condoms. Javon Kinlaw. So Javon Kinlaw and Cameron Hayward are the only 2 players who are hurt. Everybody else is good. I don't like you. Good. Mutual respect, I see. So the next stream will likely be early next week. I won't really be around over the weekend. But we'll probably get the conference championships done early next week, and then the OFL Bowl will be mid to late next week. So a week from now, we're going to be in the offseason where we're going to know who our next champion is. Again, a first-time winner, which should be fun. Hope everybody enjoyed. Had some interesting games. That last one in particular was a blast. But we'll be back soon. Peace out.